Welcome to episode 5 of Penmanship. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Diplomat Aero. Specifically, 5 pens, 4 arrows, and 1 Elox. I'm throwing the Elox into it because it is very similar to the Diplomat Aero. My first arrow was this orange one, and it is the anodized aluminum. It's a really well made pen, has a great capping sound to it. It's very satisfying when you cap it, uncap it. Also, the machining is fantastic. These grooves are well made, and the threading. There, done. I just need to flick it in, flick it out. Most Diplomat arrows don't come with this gold color nib. It's not gold. I just wanted a gold color nib. To match the orange. I think it looks really good with this color combination versus a silver nib. And also, when I got it, it was a fine, and I wanted an extra fine. So it was a good way of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The next one, and I won't open them all, the next one is this lacquer white, which is a pearl white. Kind of hard to see on camera, but it's a really pretty white color pen, and the finishing is different because unlike the orange that is anodized, I'm actually gonna move this out because focusing is a problem. So unlike this orange one that's anodized, this white one is a lacquer finish. So it does feel different. You do feel the lacquer finishing. And it also changes how it caps and how it screws in. Here's the sound of it. It's a little more dampened because I think the lacquer muffles the sound a little bit. And it's the same when you try to unscrew the body. There's just more resistance. Here. Again, they're just more resistant in screwing the body. Even though this white version, the lacquer white, is less tactile, at least the sensations is a little more dampened than the anodized one. I think the trade-off of having this really pretty finish is worth losing some of the sensation. It's really pretty. It's hard to see on camera, but I've gotten a lot of compliments on this lacquer white. The next pen is the Elox Matrix. Again, a very handsome pen. It weighs about the same as this one, as the orange anodized. In fact, I think it feels a little more lighter. The finishing, at least the design, this matrix design is really attractive. The only downside of this pen, of this finishing, is when you slide your hand over the engravings, you do feel that some of the edges should have been smoothed out. It's not enough where it's gonna cut you, but it is enough where you don't want to do this motion. It's uncomfortable. So I don't use this much. Still, it's a really attractive pen. It looks great on picture, and you just hear that capping. It has a great capping sound. Maybe better than the orange anodized one. You guys tell me. One. Or two. One. Or two. It's different. They're both great. And all three of these pens are aluminum material. Moving from the aluminum material, we are looking at steel. This is the Aero flame design, made out of steel. It was necessary to make it out of steel to get this kind of burnt design. They basically took the steel, they put a torch to it, and what you get is these kind of heat marks. It does weigh a lot more than the aluminum ones, but the trade-off of having this design is worth it. Now, I did buy this one secondhand. It was never inked, never used, and the person that bought it just didn't like the weight. It was a bit too heavy for her. It works for me, and I like how the finish coating on the steel is. It's not a raw metal. There's a nice, pleasant coating. At least that's what I think it is. So the finishing is nice. It's not too raw of a metal, but it is heavy. And what nib I have on this, I bought a Franklin Christoph double broad Jovo. By the way, all these pens use a Jovo nib. So I bought the double broad so I can take it to CY to have it grind to his techo, which you can't call it that because I think Esteper owns the name. He calls it something else, but essentially it's the same grind. So depending on the angle, it changes the line. I really like this pen and the grind that was put on it. Oh, the capping. Also very good. The last, and the one I just got last week, is the new Aero Oxide. As you can see, it has this nice striped patina to it. What I heard they did was, they took the brass, they painted black, and then they shaved the edges to give it this patina look. Then they coat over it so that the finishing will no longer patina anymore. What it looks like should keep for years to come. It is also the heaviest of the Aero. This brass finish, just by a hair, just by a small margin compared to the steel. This is slightly heavier. Here's the capping. Not bad. I actually didn't turn this, did I? Let's turn each one, see how they turn. Let's unscrew each one, see how it... So it doesn't screw in as easy, but... Sorry. So it doesn't screw in as easy, but it's not as hard as the lacquer finish. Also, they started adding this washer at the end, and it does give it a tighter... It does give it a tighter seal, or at least a more secure seal. Because sometimes this aluminum one will just unscrew itself. this washer and this brass one, this oxide, should keep it from unscrewing itself. These are my 5 diplomats. The great pens. And who should consider getting one? I think if you want a pen that has a different design, there's a lot of pens that are cigar shaped, but not one that has these grooves and this Zeppelin looking design. So it's unique in the market. Another thing is it's a metal pen, so it's very solid. If you get the aluminum, it's not heavy. If you end up getting the steel or the oxide, which is the brass, then you can deal with a lot of weight. But the aluminum does cap very well and it's not back heavy. It's a fantastic pen to write with because the weight is well balanced. I write uncapped. I prefer my pens uncapped. Also, the price of an Aero is very reasonable within the price of an Esterbrook ST. So you're not breaking out your bank for it. The nib writes really well. It's a well-tuned nib by Jovo for Diplomat. So well-tuned that you may never need a gold nib. You'll be happy just with the steel. So this is my review on the Aero plus E-Locks. I didn't want to do a review just on one pen. I wanted to do it within a line of pens. I hope this was somewhat entertaining, somewhat enjoyable. This is actually my second time filming this, so hopefully this is better. I didn't like the first time I shot it, so I'm reshooting it again. But anyway, I hope you liked it. I hope it was enjoyable. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Bye.